You know what? I'm pretty sure that he was sitting in his room with his people, and they were just because Trump, I feel like, is impulsive, and they were like, "I didn't know we voted in Joe Biden. You're just gonna sit here and do nothing." They probably didn't even call him Trump. They were like, "You're Biden. You're Biden." He was like, "I'm not Biden. I will bomb them right now."
You think they're just gaslighting him the whole time?
Hey everybody, Jordan from Back Society here. Do me a favor and click that subscribe button below and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single episode. Now, back to grinding. All right, welcome back to Back Society. I'm your co-host here with my other co-hosts.
S baby.
And of course, you know the other one.
C Money from the continent of
From an
beer.
undisclosed classified
The continent of
location.
what?
Of beer, dude.
Fallujah.
Undisclosed.
Undisclosed.
All right, guys. It's been a 2 weeks since we last met. A lot of things have been happening. I'm sure we got some commentary. S's commentary is always the best one, the one I look forward to the most.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's always my favorite. Just the world is turning, guys, and events are happening. It's crazy. We got this administration. We got the world trying to blow each other up. It's crazy. What's been going on?
Are they though?
Yeah.
Are they? I don't know. The whole thing to me is kind of fishy. It's like weird.
How so?
It's like it's kind of like remember how the Revolutionary War, like you lined up men, they shoot first, and then the other line shoots back.
Yeah, that was the warfare at the time because, you only had a single shot.
What does that have to do with B-2 bombers?
Because it's like, hey, we're gonna bomb you. We bomb them. Okay, hey everybody, we're gonna
I see what you're saying.
retaliate. Okay, they're gonna
But we're
retaliate.
going to let you know. We're going to tell you we are striking this.
Oh, yeah.
Move your people out so nobody dies. I literally, I said this to somebody yesterday. I said, dude, war is gay now, dude. Like, what are we doing? It's fucking gay, dude.
I know.
Like-
I know. Hey, guys, we're about to bomb this facility. Please move everyone out of the way. Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm also going to bomb you back, but make sure, you move everyone out of this. Advance notice, please.
My favorite thing about this whole thing, though, was like Trump being like, we bombed them. It was amazing. They better not do anything. It was like, wait a minute. You bombed the fuck out of them, but you're saying, don't do anything.
I know. He was like,
It was like,
it's now time for peace.
You
that
know
was
what?
afterwards.
Oh,
You know what? I'm pretty sure that he was sitting in his room with his people, and they were just because Trump, I feel like, is impulsive, and they were like, "I didn't know we voted in Joe Biden. You're just gonna sit here and do nothing." They probably didn't even call him Trump. They were like, "You're Biden. You're Biden." He was
They're
like, "I'm not Biden. I will bomb them right now."
You think they're just gaslighting him the whole time?
I mean, if I was Netanyahu and I wanted him to bomb Iran, I would. I'd be like, okay, Joe
Dude,
Biden.
Actually, yeah. Netanyahu calls him and he's like, "Hello, Mr. President Biden," and Trump's like, "What the fuck?" I do feel like those conversations. He's like, "No balls,
No
I was like,
balls.
No balls.
You see the size of these hands? I'm bombing those bitches."
Oh my god, I love the pictures of him in the Situation Room. Hold on, let me grab my MAGA hat real quick before we take these pictures.
Does he wear that everywhere?
No, only for photo
It's
ops.
great. I mean, it's great branding. It's great.
It's
branding.
great branding.
I mean, his name. He's Donald Trump. That's all he does is branding.
Yo, that's I mean, that's the show. That's the name of the show. And he's like, "Hey, we're gonna be on camera. Give me my hat right away."
My favorite thing though was when they're coming out to the press conference afterwards, and it's like Trump walking out, and JD and Marco and Pete Hegseth.
Mm.
You can tell like JD's just like, I've totally betrayed all my principles and everything I said. And Marco Rubio is like, we're fucked, dude. and then you look at Pete Hegseth and he's like, what am I doing here? He's like, I hope they don't ask me a question. Dude, he was terrified. Pure terror in his eyes.
There was
walking out to the press conference.
There was like one tweet from the administration where they congratulated everyone for 0 leaks this time.
What is up with that? That is not a thing to like celebrate. It's like a self backhanded compliment. Like, we didn't fuck up this time.
We were slightly more confident this time around, guys. It was crazy.
But they say that, but there were reports saying they're gonna do it this weekend.
Yeah,
There was just no leaked signal chat. That was the difference. You know, but there were totally leaks.
But I
Because
mean, like,
you know how I know there were leaks? Because they told the Israelis, they told the Iranians, they told everybody.
that's what I'm
That's a
saying.
leak, dude.
My thing is too is like why what was the point of even bombing Iran?
show strength. Show.
It's
Exactly.
called
Show us-
you know what? No. You know what it's called is you escalate to de-escalate. That's literally a military principle. It's escalation to de-escalate.
Mm.
Jihads are
That's-
just not
that's
what they once were.
But it kind of worked.
Did it though?
Yeah. What's happened?
Nothing.
Nothing, but like
Exactly.
Nothing happened.
when's the
But
next
they're not.
time?
They're probably in a day or two. Who knows? But it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I mean, like Trump probably didn't know that, but he had this.
No, I mean he
people
kind of
that-
did. The same thing happened during his Soleimani bombing.
Bro, the Soleimani strike is way wilder than what we just did.
I mean,
That shit was
it was crazy. It
thought
was
it was
crazy
the-
when that happened.
I thought it was gonna be like
crazy.
I thought it was gonna be like the 9/11 in Iraq thing all over again.
No, but
Mhm.
see, Trump had the playbook because, like, Jordan's right. Talk about the Soleimani strike, right? We struck Soleimani, we killed a literal, in the Iranian eyes, like a living god. He was a living god in Iran. People worship that guy. And you know what the Iranians did? They said they waited a day or two, and they said, "We're going to send missiles to this base. Move your people out." It was the exact same response.
Yeah, they even
Yeah.
did the whole show of like raising up the fucking fatwa flag, and that was it.
Yeah. But you know what? They told the military, said, "Hey, we're gonna strike Al Assad," or I think it was Al Assad, like in like 12 hours. And so we evacuated. They struck, and then moved everybody back in. It's common. It's just the way it works.
I feel like it's a waste of missiles.
Is it
Like a
though?
wait-
Because no. But all they're doing is selling to their base. We did something.
Yeah, that's
They
pretty
can't
much what it is.
You know.
No, be
I know your little CIA brain can't handle this, but this is how the world works.
my thing is, it's like no, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let me just you're gonna hit the spot? Okay, let's just move everything. Thank you for letting us know. Let's just move everything and everybody. And then
It's called proportionality. It's tit for tat. They don't want to kill. If we didn't kill anybody, they don't want to kill anybody.
I mean, at the end of the day, our strikes on Iran didn't really do all that much. It just sent them back for a few months.
That's a CNN assessment. We'll see.
yeah.
I mean,
Anyway, but it's like-
still an
it's like-
assessment just because you don't like where it came from.
All right, but okay, who's the Israel president, prime minister? or whatever?
Netanyahu,
Prime Minister's Bibi Netanyahu. Yeah,
How long has he been in power?
on and off.
on and off for 30 years.
Yeah,
I think that's a problem in itself, man.
he's been around
Why?
for a long, long time.
He's been around for a long, long time, and
Mhm.
his goal is to dominate the Middle East, right?
Greater. I mean, he has aspirations of a greater Israel.
Yeah, but that's just so he could take over the Middle East, so he can get all that oil money, right?
Well, they also see like Iran as their biggest competition. Everyone else is just in the way.
Like to me, it's just like, and then I don't understand why we cater to Israel so much.
I don't know if the Israelis are looking for oil money. I've never heard that before.
I mean, like I
Because
never
they
heard-
have a burgeoning tech sector that's very incredibly advanced, right? Like NSO is a great example. Like they outsource all their cyber tools. Like you've heard Pegasus, right? That's an Israeli thing.
Is Pegasus is Israeli?
I'm just
100%.
but I'm just making an assumption, right? Because I mean, like I'm looking at it through the lens, like like money wants more money, and then once you get the money, you want the power, like just through. I mean, if he say not whatever his name is, gets Iran, who else is gonna stop him, right? He's gonna have more
I
money.
well, I mean, you have the Saudis, you have the Egyptians, you have
The Qataris don't
the
really care for Israel too much.
Qataris.
But if he makes a whole campaign against Iran, why would he stop at Iran?
Well, I mean, they don't really have the population to really take over the Middle East,
I
You know,
know.
9 million
especially a
people. Well,
hostile especially a 100%
here's the
hostile
thing.
population.
The Iranians are known, like, multiple people will say, "That's our enemy," right?
Yeah.
Right.
The US is not gonna say that about the Qataris. We have an air base there. We're not gonna say that about the Saudi Arabians' oil, and, we have a military installation in Saudi Arabia. Like, these are allies in some capacity.
Right.
So, his only thing is Iran.
Yeah. And
I
not
think my crazy conspiracy is they wanna bomb Iran and move the Palestinians to Iran.
Ooh.
That's a lot of
What?
land just to give the Palestinians. I feel like they wouldn't be so generous
Hey,
with that.
no, no, exactly. They're saying, "Look at this. Look at this
Yeah.
giant country we're giving you."
Yeah. I mean, that's a good idea, you know?
I'm just
My conspiracy,
saying.
they would do that with Syria.
You know
No,
what?
but Syria's a shithole. At least, like, in Tehran, it's like they have infrastructure and
Yeah.
it's a real city.
Did you know, like,
S
the old
I mean, yeah,
conspiracy
Tehran's a real
about
city. I feel like we hate Iran a lot, not only because, they fund terror, right? But also because, Iran used to be kind of a colony for a long, long time, for like a Western colony, and they kind of humiliated us during the Ayatollah, uprising.
so what, man? So
Yeah, and then you have Iran-Contra and all that other stuff.
Iran
you
Contra with Ollie North, yeah. So I feel like
Mhm.
some of this is mostly personal.
you wanna know what the old conspiracy about Iran was? Like, when, Obama and Hillary Clinton were in office and stuff like that, they
Your
said
boy.
they wanted to go what was his name? Barry Zito? Barry whatever? Obama?
Oh,
His
Barry
other name?
Soetoro, fucking the fucking stupid ass name right wingers are like spurting out about.
But, no, the old conspiracy was they wanted to go into Iran because they didn't have a centralized bank. It was something to do with the Fed Reserve.
Bro, you are so obsessed with the reserve central banks.
Oh my god.
Get over it.
I'm
You
just saying,
I just
that was the old one. That was the
That's
old
not even
conspiracy.
true at all, dude.
How do you know it's not true?
Dude, I feel like
Where's the evidence
dude,
of it
I
being
feel like dude, these conspiracies that you're coming up with, I feel like you're so
It
close
doesn't
of
make
picking up
sense.
Mein Kampf at some point.
It doesn't make sense. What do you mean? Alright, let me ask you this. What did Obama do that says, "Oh, we have to do this because they don't have a central bank"?
Well, I'm just saying then
What did he do?
He unfroze their assets.
no, it's not that, like, it's
He
not
didn't
like
do
what
that.
Obama it's not like Obama, it's the people that are above Obama that are
There's nobody
telling him.
above Obama because he's the president of the United
Yeah, hold on,
States.
hold on. You don't think okay. Us bombing Iran didn't show you that there's not somebody above Donald Trump?
No, I think he wanted to literally just bomb them because he sees it as a here's the thing.
How are you gonna
Think
go
about it
Again,
from
this isn't the
Trump's point of
first
view.
time he's, been
We
aggressive with
said
Iran.
we if the military was like, "Sir, this is gonna be the biggest B-2 bombing run in history. We've never dropped these bombs before." Like, you don't think he's like, "That sounds fucking dope. I sound awesome."
You
Oh
could have
yeah.
said the same thing. We
In the
never
beginning of
dropped
his
a nuke.
first term when he dropped the Moab, he was all about that. He was
He was all
cheering
about it,
that
dude.
on, yeah.
This is standard textbook Trump. What are you talking about? But I want you to tell me the Obama thing. You said something about Obama and central banks. I
Well,
don't know
like
what you mean.
when Hillary Clinton and Obama, they were running, like, Hillary Clinton, like, was advocate and saying, "Hey, we're gonna take down the Middle East. We're gonna go into Iran and take them down."
I don't think she ever said that.
She did. There's actually a clip. There is a clip actually of that, and
I
I'll
mean, she's
pull it
pretty
up and I'll
hawkish.
send it
She
to
was
you.
always pretty hawkish on the Middle
She was
East.
always a war hawk, but at the time, it was not popular in the Democratic Party to be a war hawk. So
Well,
I'm a little hesitant.
No,
to
but
believe
it's
that she was
like
that
100%. Those were like,
hawkish.
obviously I'm paraphrasing, but
Oh no,
that's
because it
exactly
is a paraphrase. I remember because
Pretty
this was
obvious.
circulating around a while ago between like MAGA, and it was she said if in an event they attacked us.
this is before MAGA. This is before.
No, this was
This-
during the 2016 election.
No, this
Yeah,
was
but what Jordan, no,
this
but
was what-
Jordan, what Jordan is saying is the MAGA guys keep bringing that up, saying, "Oh, Trump's not the bad guy. Hillary Clinton was planning on doing this anyway." It's
And
a
then-
standard propaganda campaign.
Yeah, and then they bring up Libya and Benghazi.
So it's a
Well,
propaganda
was fucked
propaganda
up.
campaign.
That was
and she
fucked up.
actually said it.
She didn't say it like that. That's what he's saying. He's saying what you are hearing from the MAGA guy, because you're a MAGA, kind of like tard, is it's out of context.
No, it's
What does
not.
that have? What does that have to do with a central bank? Enlighten me.
Because the central banks control. They have like central banks around the entire world, but they couldn't get into Iran because one of
So?
the because
Central banks aren't linked together, though.
I think I think they are like
Right?
either
No, they're not. So
hold on.
you're wrong.
So the Federal Reserve Bank, right? It has the word
Yes.
federal in there. So people assume that it's part of the federal government, but it's a privately owned bank, right?
It's not privately owned. It's privately. So it has separation from government interference.
Can you
Who
audit
nom-
the
Yeah,
can you audit the Federal
yeah,
Reserve?
you technically can, yeah, if you wanted to, but they've never passed legislation to do it. But tell me, what private bank can the president nominate the CEO?
That
You
doesn't
tell me.
It doesn't
Tell me
it
right now.
doesn't matter
Tell
about the
me right
CEO.
now.
It doesn't matter. It's about the
All
people.
all the Federal Reserve governors and the chair are all nominated by the president
For how
and
many
they're
years?
approved by Congress.
For how many
What's it,
years?
6 years, right? 6 years.
Those
6-year
are all
terms.
temporary employees. All temporary employees.
No, temporary.
All other-
No.
No.
What are you talking about? What are you just
What
making
are
shit
you
up now?
talking about? What are you talking about? You're saying, "Oh, this guy. He's only going to be here for 5 years, so we're going to tell how everything works and does." No, you just sit on the chair, look pretty, and you're our spokesman. That's it. That's all they're going to know.
Then
Well,
why
then who's
why
running?
is the admin waging war against Jerome Powell?
Yeah.
The thing about the Federal Reserve Bank is that
Sure.
they can print the money, right? And it's about the debt system. It's how the debt system works. It's like,
What does that have
hey,
to do with any other country?
because it would put the country in debt, which makes you
What-
enslaved
To who?
to the Federal Reserve Bank. To the bank, it makes you enslaved to the bank. So basically, hey,
How so?
because of interest. So if I loan you $20, you have to pay me $25 back. How do you get that extra $25? How do you get that extra $5? Oh, you have to take out another loan. Exactly. That's how
That's
it
not how.
works.
No, that's not how it works.
Dude, learn about debt and interest when it comes to countries. I am telling you,
yeah,
that's
Chris,
how it
Jesus
works.
Christ.
What happens is the banks say, the Federal Reserve says, I'm going to make sure that you can have this amount of cash at this rate of interest. And the banks say, which is
you
lower.
Just said it. You just said it right there. Interest.
Yeah.
Interest.
Can I ask you a question? Do you know where the interest of the Federal Reserve that they bring in, where it goes?
It was like 5%, right?
No, not the interest rate. I'm saying the money that they make from a profit standpoint. Where does that money go?
You're telling me the Federal Reserve makes profit?
They charge interest. So where does that money go?
I think that in itself
Where does it
is a
go?
problem. It doesn't matter
Where's-
where it goes, but
Where does
itself,
the
you
law
answered-
say that money goes?
But it doesn't matter. Hold on. These people at the top, they don't follow laws. They make laws. You
That's
know
not true
this.
at all.
Oh my
Dude,
God. What are you talking about? First of all, the Federal Reserve should not have any profits. They shouldn't have any profits.
no, profit is just saying, I'm just using the term profit as, I gave you this money, you paid me interest, now there's an excess of money, which is
Where
the
does it-
profit,
Where does it go?
right? Yeah, where does it go?
I'm not sure. Where does it go?
Legally, it goes back to the federal government.
Legally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if it doesn't, then what are they doing with it?
I don't know, but what about with other countries?
That's what I'm asking you. How are they linked to other countries? I don't give a fuck about another country.
I
I
oh,
care.
Not all
what I-
central banks are the same.
what I'm asking is this, right?
Yeah.
The like other countries that use like the central banking
Sure.
system, right? Do they also like does the profit go to the US government or does it also go to a to
Why would
their
it go to
government?
the US government? Central bank has nothing to do with the US government. It's a
A lot of
concept.
a lot of these central
No,
banks
you're just
are
making it up now.
I am not.
You're
I
making
am
it
not
up, yeah.
making it up. I went down this rabbit hole like
Relax, Ian
20 years
Carroll.
ago.
Relax, man.
I'm telling you. Also, I pulled up the thing with Hillary Clinton saying how she wanted to go into Iran. And everybody wanted to know why they want to go to Iran. And it's because Iran and like two other countries don't have a central bank. That's the same reason
That's
why
what she said? She said that?
she didn't say because they don't have a central bank.
Okay, all right. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, a little reading between the lines,
Oh.
making stuff up. It's cool.
Oh. But it's also the same reason why we bombed Libya, right? Because Libya wanted to put all the African countries under one currency.
Well, that and they were making a nuclear weapon, but yeah.
And also,
but
they
I'm
were like supplying a
we'll move
lot.
past
They were also like funding a lot of
We'll move
terrorists.
past Yeah.
Dude,
We'll move past a
dude,
lot of the terrorism and nuclear weapon. That's what doesn't matter. You're right. It has to do with an African
If you
currency.
want to go,
What
if
the
you want to
fuck
go,
are you talking about?
I would-
dude?
if you want to go into any country and invade them, you just have to say they're making nuclear weapons.
They also did
That's
a
it.
lot
Yeah,
of
you do.
terrorism. Like a lot of
That's
like
it.
those
That's all you
hijacked
have
planes from
to say.
Israel
but
was like
nobody
from
disputes-
Gaddafi.
That's
Nobody
all you have to
disputes
say.
Libya's capabilities. They'll dispute Iraq. Nobody would dispute. They'll say we should not have done that to Libya because of the fallout, but they'll never say Libya was not pursuing WMDs. Because
Well, I
Gaddafi was. He's a crazy motherfucker.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe-
dude, he
well,
was a
maybe that's part of the
Pan-Africanist. He
evolution.
wanted to unite all of Africa under, and he put money where his mouth is. He funded a lot of like terrible African dictators like Idi Amin and stuff like that.
But I mean, like maybe
Yeah.
that's part of the evolution, right? I mean,
Why?
once you get to, why do we keep these third world nations third world? And it's probably because in their evolution, to get to the first world, you have to have nuclear capability.
That's not true at all.
Yeah, it's depending on your.
This one, I'm assuming. It's an assumption. I mean, like
you're making assumptions for the last 10 minutes, so it's cool.
nothing but facts, baby. Nothing
There's
but
no
facts,
facts. There's
baby.
no facts.
Nothing but
You can't even tie all the central banks together. You got nothing, bro.
So you're telling? Okay, how about this then? All
Send it.
like early, like in the 1800s, with the Rothschilds.
Oh, of course, we're going back to the Rothschilds.
They all made central banks all over Europe and Great Britain. And you're telling me they're not linked? You're telling me they're not linked?
First of all, you can't have it all over Great Britain. There's one.
There was one
a
in
central
Great
bank,
Britain.
one bank.
There was one in Great Britain, and then they had like one in each country all over Europe.
That's a European problem. That's not a U.S. problem.
But they were linked, and they're still linked.
They're not linked, bro.
I just
They're not. You're just giving conspiracy theories.
It's not conspiracy. I actually did research. You're coming at it from a lens of ignorance. You haven't looked.
I'm coming from a lens of pragmatism and just being slightly more educated.
I don't even know what pragmatism means. I don't know what practice. Are you saying you're like more practical?
Dude, Chris currently lives in Germany. They're famous for their pragmatism.
Yeah, you don't. How do you not know what pragmatism means?
Say it in a sentence.
I'm more pragmatic than you.
Now spell it.
P-R.
A-G. Have you really never heard the term pragmatic before?
Yeah,
That's like what you want from your leaders is pragmatism.
Well, I mean,
it means you're a realist. It means you take what is given to you and you react to that in real time. You're not an ideologue, right?
Yeah.
An ideologue is the opposite of pragmatist.
Oh,
because you're
okay.
doing something based on your beliefs. Where a pragmatist is saying, "This is what's happening. This is how I respond." Like I would say, Trump is kind of a pragmatist more than an ideologue.
Yeah. Like me, I'm more of a pragmatist than an
Whether or not he
idealist.
makes the right decision is a different question, but he's reacting to what is given to
Yeah,
him.
see, I would call him more of a reactionary than a pragmatist half the time.
Who cares? These are all just labels. The guy's impulsive. Those are
Well,
all
that's
It's
100%.
kind of the opposite of pragmatism on that one.
he got
It's
gaslighted
not
into
though.
bombing
It's not though.
Iran.
You because you can be pragmatic and still be like impulsive about it.
Well, I mean, in his book, if you make a decision, you better make a decision fast, right? That's his big thing, and then live with that decision. But I do want to say is that we should not have jumped into Iran and Israel situation. Like, I mean, like them that like for me, if the world was like a chessboard, which is kind of weird because like the fact that other countries let United States bomb Iran, it's like what do they know that we don't know, the people know,
Well, I mean,
right?
like, what are they gonna do about it?
Well, that's the thing, right?
We got bases all over the world. They don't. We can sit on our couch and bomb them. They can't do anything about it. They don't
Well,
have
like
like a defense system like the Iron Dome like Israel has. What are they gonna do about it?
well,
We
I think
have allies. They don't.
they have
People depend
allies.
on their currency.
Yeah, because it's all centralized. It's all connected.
The dollar's the global currency.
I know.
People have
I think
incentive to keep it that way.
I would suggest you guys look into that.
I'm just saying, like, there's numerous reasons why people let the United States pretty much do whatever they want. That's also kind of what you get when you're the sole global power.
You're the hegemon, baby. You gotta be the
Yep.
hegemon.
I
What's
think it
what's the point in having all that power if you're not gonna use it?
Yep.
somebody
Just
gaslighted
just
Trump.
be happy you were
Biden.
born here and not in those poor countries, man. That's all I
Somebody
can
was just
say.
like,
I
"Oh,
mean, I don't doubt one bit that Trump is gaslit every day by JD Vance and Marco Rubio.
like,
You
oh,
think
I didn't
JD Vance
for
is like
Biden."
is a puppet master?
Oh,
Yeah?
100%, dude. Yeah.
That dude doesn't seem
He's
like
like,
he
"Well,
knows what he's doing
Mr.
half the
President."
time.
He doesn't need to, but he's a talker.
He's a talker.
He's a talker, and he can be he can come off as very rational and tell you. And then I could tell he's saying like, "Hey, Mr. President, this is what I think happens." And then he goes, "But BB said you're a bitch." And
Yeah.
then Trump's like,
I got the red button.
He's like, I'm not
and
taking
then
that from
somebody,
one of our colonies.
yeah. Yeah, and then they're like, and Trump's like, "What do you mean I'm a bitch?" And they're like, "Well, sir, he says you won't do this crazy plan where you have 9 BP bombers. You're gonna drop 14 bunker busters." He's like, "You're, I fucking will."
Something that's
Yeah,
he said you won't do this thing that would be celebrated by everybody.
yeah.
Call me
I
Biden one more time.
And then Trump's like, "Draw up the plan." They're like, "Sir, we've already drawn them up. You just gotta say okay." He's like, "Yes." You know?
Do we get a photo op? Okay.
Give me my hat.
Yeah, give me my MAGA hat. This is brand new, right off the press. We made it for you right now.
The whole thing
I
to
mean,
me,
I'm not going to disagree with you that we shouldn't get involved in Israel-Iran's conflict. I mean, the reason that Israel is even bold enough to actually stand up against Iran, let's be real, is because they have us at their back.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, which was another thing, right? I think that lobbyist, the
AIPAC?
AIPAC. So they either pay for protection and they pay for security, right?
They pay for
That
influence.
well, I mean, like, but it comes down to protection or security, right? I mean, that was a big thing with Trump, right? The last term, he was like, all these countries that were protecting, they should pay like a tax or something. So, I mean, to me, I just think that's what AIPAC does is that they pay for protection or security. Because I mean, like Israel is kind of small, like it's really small. You know what I mean?
Small, but it packs a punch.
Yeah, because you got the US military. That's why
Well, not just the
Pakistan.
U.S. military. I mean, they're still a country because they did fight. I mean, like the Yom Kippur War, 7 Days
Mhm.
War. I mean, they've proved they can defend themselves pretty well,
Mm.
especially against like a coalition of 7 nations.
So, alright, so out of the situation, America USA, what did they get out of it? They got to show off their power, they got to show that Trump is not a Joe
It's
Biden, that
pure influence
pure influence.
Mm.
What did Israel get out of it?
to let Iran know, "Don't fuck with us," because Big Daddy Trump's gonna bomb the fuck out.
Yeah. And let's make no
And
mistake. I mean, Israel's been eyeing Iran since
yeah,
2001.
but I
Think
mean,
about it.
They've
Well,
been eyeing
well,
them
happened.
for a long time.
but they make the argument, and it's not wrong, right? It's like, okay, so we're being attacked by Hamas, funded by Iran, Hezbollah, funded by Iran, the Houthis, funded by Iran. So they're just saying, like, hey, maybe the Iranians aren't directly doing it, but they're paying people
Mm.
that surround us to keep us and hold us at risk and make you know what I mean? To like focus us internally and not worry about the head of the snake, which is the Ayatollah.
Okay. So, Israel got some buffer room, right? They can breathe now, right?
Bro, they fucking killed a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, they
Like
did.
it was like the beeper thing all over again. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, all your generals in one room, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's
Boom, dead.
crazy.
Like, also, like, what kind of military who's under attack puts all these guys in one room to be killed? It's crazy, dude. Crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. Crazy coincidence.
Hmm.
I'm not
It's a
saying
well,
anything. Not saying anything.
it also shows you and the Iranians like, hey, Israel's like, we can touch you wherever we want because we've infiltrated you at the highest levels of government.
Yeah.
You know, it shows there is some access by the Israelis at some of the higher levels of government because they're sympathetic to the Israeli cause or just anti-regime, right? Like it's probably one or the other. They might not care about the Israelis, but they don't like the Ayatollah or something
So,
like that.
what did Iran get from this? Like, what did they win?
I mean, they're still in power, I guess.
I think they were just saying, hey, if they attack us, we can hit them back. Look at this. Yeah, the first night, maybe 95% of our missiles were intercepted, but like the next night, only 90% were intercepted.
Yeah,
The
they
next
did
night,
hit.
only 80% were. You know, all they want is one successful strike, and they can say, look at this video. We're defeating Israel.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
manage to kill a few Israelis, which is
Yeah.
probably a big victory in their book.
Yeah. Which is and then when they attacked that airbase, our US airbase in Qatar, it's kind of like
Al
Yeah.
Udeid. Yeah.
Yeah.
they're like, hey, leave this airbase because we're gonna bomb.
Yeah, we're gonna bomb it.
Mm-hmm.
Success. I'm pretty sure
I
like
Boom,
all of
baby.
it was intercepted too.
It's just so I don't know.
was,
It's,
yeah.
it's just so weird. It's just so weird. The whole situation.
They also only fired off 14 missiles because that's how many bunker busters we dropped.
Yeah.
This is a very like
Symbolic.
tit for tat. Yeah, it was like like we're so proportional and like reserved, you know.
Yeah. Either way, dude, we're returning to the status quo. Maybe in a year or two, maybe less than that, we'll have a little bit of a tension show with Iran again. It keeps coming up every now and then. Iran is the great beast devil of the Middle East to us. God,
I feel like-
we've hated Iran for what's it going on? 50 years now?
I feel like
1979, baby.
Yeah.
I feel like if we were like while we were bombing Iran, I think China should have made a play for Taiwan.
Why?
But we bombed them for like 8 minutes. What are you talking about?
But I
Yeah.
mean, like you knew they took them 37 hours to get there, right?
But nobody knew they were going there.
Yeah.
I'm
And not
sure
to
there
mention we had to get our battlements in place, and we already have shit in place for Taiwan.
Actually, you know what's really funny? there was a post on like X that some guy was like, I just saw 9 B-2 bombers fly over my house east. I wonder what that means. And it was like literally like 37 hours before it happened. It was like crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It must have been a cool sight though.
I,
Those planes are
I'm
cool
just
looking.
because I'm
They're
just
so
looking.
they're so
I'm just
dope.
I'm just saying because like they could have had the United States on three different fronts, right? Russia and Ukraine, Iran and Israel, and then China and Taiwan. So I'm either thinking like either our military is like vastly, grossly underrated, just from a people's perspective, or it's like
I don't
these
think they're
people.
underrated, dude. We're a global superpower. We have bases all over. We have carriers all over. There's a reason why South Korea is still a country. There's a reason Taiwan is
What
still
I'm
a
saying
country.
is like there was an opportunity to fight us on three different fronts to spread us out. That was like their best chance that they're ever gonna get.
But based on that logic, you would say that they realized it wasn't the best chance because we could still handle them.
Right. I mean that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting at because I'm asking why. Like I'm asking why they didn't take that opportunity to spread
Because
us
we would
out.
kick their fucking
We
ass,
would kick
dude.
their
Well,
ass
that's what
because,
I'm
like,
saying.
the moment let's say China was moving against Taiwan while we were, while we were bombing. Immediately, you're going to get pushback from our forces there. You're going to get pushback from South Korea. You're going to get pushback from Japan, probably
I
Australia, the
know.
Philippines. It's not just because we were preoccupied doing a small bombing run on Tehran doesn't mean like you're not
There
going to get
is
fucked.
there is one country in the entire world who has a global presence. It's
Not,
us.
it's not Great
There's
Britain
one
anymore.
there's one country in the world who has a navy that can go anywhere in the world, and that's us. The Chinese Navy can only go about like
Yeah.
12,000 nautical miles or something like
They
that.
have a lot of
We can
ships, but
go
they're nowhere
anywhere.
near our capabilities.
Anywhere. We have, dude, our ships have nuclear reactors. They can run
Yep.
forever.
Yep.
Literally forever. And the problem is we got to feed the people on it. That's our limiting factor.
Well, how come we don't make that nuclear reaction? And oh, okay. This brings me into the
Are you
next
about to
thing
be like a
say.
nuclear power plant? I mean, there's a big movement to bring back nuclear power, or at least make it more
I
widespread.
Well, I
I
mean,
totally think
But
we should.
but people are kind of scarred because of, the horror stories of like, 9 Mile or, Chernobyl, and so they think it's dangerous.
like we don't give the opportunity to do it because it's everybody assumes that they're gonna be turned into a bomb.
Well, no, people are afraid it's going to
That's no,
explode.
that's not. Yeah, that's not it.
That's not it. We literally
We have
went.
we have 7,000 nuclear warheads. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with a nuclear power plant.
To the
What are you
public at
talking
large,
about?
nuclear is is kind of a taboo
We
concept
just
It's
still.
taboo. It's
Yeah.
taboo. Yeah.
we just had this conversation that you're not allowed to have any nuclear things whatsoever because it's gonna be turned into a bomb, not a
Who?
reactor.
No, that depends on your there's different
and-
it's how you enrich uranium, you know?
So then why go for the
Have you ever
bomb when
seen
you
The
can just have
Dictator?
infinite energy? I know. I sent you all those clips from The Dictator on TikTok
I could love that movie, bro.
'cause it's so accurate. It's
Is
just today.
enriching the uranium for peace? Yeah, it will. It will. And we're not
Well,
using against oh boy. But nuclear is just a taboo concept, dude. Nuclear facilities in order for for energy is a sound concept and probably a little more viable than solar energy. So
it's way more viable.
but I'm saying is how come
look, I
other
don't look at the research all that much. I just know nuclear is
how
a little
come
better.
how come other countries can't do that?
They do
They
it.
do.
What are you
So
talking
you're
about?
so you're telling me other countries have nuclear energy that they can run that would last forever?
Yeah. France has dozens of nuclear power plants.
Oh. Well, I didn't know that.
Well, it's because just take your shit off of TikTok and you just run with it.
I am the TikTok.
Prove me wrong.
No, I mean, I'm just saying because it's like we go, like I said, right? You're allowed to
You're
invade.
We
You're
need an
mis-
episode where you
you're-
just go through your feed.
You're misconstruing everything.
So nuclear weapon and nuclear reaction are completely different things.
Yes.
They both
That was
have
that was the whole argument with Iran. They were saying, "Hey, we're going to enrich this uranium in order to have a civilian nuclear energy capability."
Right.
And they said, "Well, you enriched it way higher than you
Right.
need to, and you're closer to making enriched uranium that could be used for a bomb."
Right.
Because I think what was it? It's like
The problem wasn't having uranium; it's how they were
and you guys are
enriching
hold on, and
uranium.
you guys are uranium experts? Are you just going
Not
off
by any
the-
means, but like if you look at the arguments, there's always enriching was the word was used.
yeah, it was always about enrichment, uranium enrichment. And here's the thing: no uranium bombs. This is the argument against bombing Iran, by the way. It's saying because Iranian uranium bombs, like I think Big Boy or Fat Man. So like when we dropped our nuclear weapons, there were two different ones, right? One was a uranium
Yeah,
bomb.
Fat Man and Little
That
Boy.
was the one. Fat Man. I think Fat Man was the first one, right?
Yeah.
That was a uranium bomb. It fell and then it hit and it exploded. The other one was a plutonium implosion bomb, right? Which is way different, way more destructive, and it can be miniaturized. That's why it was like fat. That's why it was Fat Man, because it was this whole contraption. You can't miniaturize it. Plutonium implosion bombs, you can miniaturize. So the argument is if you're going to put it on an ICBM like they're claiming, you actually need plutonium, not uranium.
So did they have plutonium?
So there's actually part of, I think it might have been the JCPOA, I can't remember. But when they are enriching like the heavy water reactors, the Russians come in and take all the waste plutonium out and take it back to Russia so that they cannot develop a plutonium bomb in Iran.
Yeah, I think that was part of the agreement.
That was like part of the agreement. Yeah. It's crazy, dude.
That's a good agreement.
Well, Trump said no.
Yeah, I was gonna say Trump didn't feel the same way because Obama's signature was on it. He tried to get the same, like a few weeks ago, he was talking about doing
like
the exact
thing.
same deal. Yeah.
So you're saying that, all right, first of all, Iran is claiming, hey, we're working on nuclear so we can have better energy, better stuff like that.
Yes.
And then the US and Russia is ensuring that, right? They're taking the plutonium waste and they're making sure that, hey, it's just a reactor, right? And then you have the United States and Israel saying, hey, no, it's a bomb.
So here's the thing. My numbers might be off, but for uranium enrichment for civilian uses like power, you only need to enrich to like 3 or 4% or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I think for like medical stuff, you need to enrich to like 20%, but they were at like 60%.
Yeah. I heard 90.
And everybody's like, well, no, 90 is what you need for a weapon, but they were
Right.
at 60. And the thing was, if you make it to 60, you can get to 90 quickly. That was like Marco
Man, I
Rubio's,
don't know, man. It's too much
argument.
hearsay. Too much hearsay. I think it's a lot of accusations.
No, I think it was them trying to have a bargaining chip saying, hey, we got 60%. If you don't want us to use it,
Yeah.
you better give me something.
Yes.
I think that's all it was.
Yeah. And as far as I know, like during the Obama peace deal, like Iran was pretty compliant with it too.
So I think that's the claim. I don't buy that 100%. Because even the IAEA came out and said they could build secret facilities we don't know about. And everybody's like,
You can say that about anybody though.
but literally IAEA was like, they might have them because I think there was a couple facilities they weren't given access to. So I don't know.
It's another Manhattan Project.
who knows? I mean, like, all I know is that, Iran has been on the target list of the United States and Israel for a long, long time. I mean, when we got involved in Iraq, Bibi was in the Senate saying, we should go for the head of the snake. We should go for Iran. We need to go for Iran next, Iran. We've ever since the revolution, dude, we've been trying to kill them. I mean, Reagan, one of the reasons Reagan even became president was because of Iran.
I think Trump got like $100 billion from Bibi. Be like, listen, hey, as soon as you get elected, we're going into Iran.
I don't know, but I'm sure there's like some groups he's affiliated with that bought a lot of Trump coin. I wouldn't doubt that.
But you know what? This brings me to my next point. The DOE. I think the DOE,
The Department of
is
Education?
no, of energy.
Energy, okay.
I think that is our rogue. It is our rogue faction in our government.
The Department of Energy.
You never hear about them, but they control everything. I pinpointed that
The silence is too deafening, is what you're saying.
Exactly. That is our
Didn't think about it. I don't even know who heads it.
And you never will. You never will.
Under Trump 1, it was Rick Perry, the former governor of Texas.
That's true. I forgot about Rick Perry.
Yeah. I don't know who it is now, though.
No,
why are you so anti-DOE?
I know. Trump just tweeted about them like yesterday, telling them to start drilling somehow.
Drill, baby, drill.
Yeah, drill, baby, drill.
Because I'm so anti it, because energy is
Chris Wright.
$1 trillion thing. I mean, like, and we have proof with like Tesla and stuff like that. We have the ability to have free energy around the world for everybody. And it's like they put it under lock and key. They can use the word, like I said, they can throw out the word nuclear. This place over here is developing nuclear thing. We have to invade them, take their stuff. Like they have that ability. You know what I mean? So I just think they
just made that up.
Nuh-uh. I didn't make that up.
Nobody is saying the DOE said we gotta go.
100%. 100%. Who are the people that go in and say, oh, their enrichment is too high? It's the DOE.
No, it's not. It's the IAEA.
That is part of the DOE.
No, it's not part of the DOE.
The IO what, eh?
Exactly.
Department of Energy. Foreign and domestic. The
International Atomic Energy Association, the IAEA, is who handles all that.
Who's that? Who heads them? Go ahead. I'll wait.
It's not the United Nations.
It's not. Yeah, it's a UN entity.
It is the DOE.
It's not. You just made that up.
It's the DOE. My God. I mean, dude, talk to your fellow MAGAs, man. They think the United Nations is run by China.
What makes you think that I am a MAGA guy? I just called for it.
Oh my! We all now. I mean, that Trump grant, when it hits you, dude, it hits you.
Right now, the Director General of the IAEA is a Argentinian person.
All right, let's look this guy.
Oh, just like your dude Luke
Rafael Rossi. The headquarters of the IAEA is Vienna, Austria.
Beautiful place. Beautiful place.
You're just making stuff up now, dude.
Did you guys see that Tucker and Ted Cruz interview?
It's pretty wild.
It's pretty fucking funny. It was pretty fucking funny. I mean, if that's that like clear bought and sold guy, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing: is Tucker's bought and sold by the Russians. You know what I mean?
Like, I know he loves Moscow. It's great. Go to New York City and then go to Moscow, and then you'll see what's really happening. Fucking Moscow,
You guys-
dude. Shut up, dude.
I
Look at
I
this.
love that Ted Cruz tried to turn it on, like, why are you always defending the Russians? And he was like,
My thing is, it's just like, dude, Tucker's just like, communism is the worst thing ever. And then he goes to fucking Moscow and praises the communist fucking architecture, bro. Like, oh, you really like the train? Who built them?
You guys are so non-pragmatic.
you don't even know what that means.
Hold on,
Stop.
say that.
Stop.
Say that word again. Say
Pragmatic.
that word again. Was it
Pragmatic.
pragmatic?
Pragmatic.
You guys are so pragmatic. You guys are so stuck in your ideologues that I mean, like, bro, just
That's the
I'm
two opposite
ideologuing,
things. What are you
bro.
talking about?
yeah.
I'm
You're
not.
not pragmatic. What makes you an ideologue?
I'm open-minded.
Okay, Zahi.
Thank you.
I
I
know.
was about to say that.
Thank
I was about
you.
to say that.
Thank you. How do you guys feel about the New York mayoral race?
I didn't hear anything about that. What's going on?
I think that it's gonna end up bad for New York either way.
Yeah, you think so? So, are you an Eric Adams stan?
I think Eric Adams is the only one who could beat him.
I don't think Eric Adams has a chance.
I think, well, technically, he's like the only one who does have a chance.
He's the only, remotely. Unless I don't know. Cuomo said he might do an independent run, so we'll see. That'll definitely split the
I
Eric
think-
Adams vote.
I think the problem with Cuomo was the Democrats and like the establishment Democrats were so fucking tone deaf. They didn't see how toxic he was.
Of course not. The
You know what I
dude
mean?
resigned in disgrace. Had all those like allegations against him,
Well,
and they're like, "This is our guy." And they had Bill Clinton.
first of all, a man can't compliment a woman. Relax, okay?
I forgot. It's not harassment. He's just Italian.
He's an Italian guy. He likes to talk and touch. Yeah.
You're
All
Cuomo.
Italian.
Is this your Cuomo sexuality coming out? God.
A Cuomo sexual. I forgot about that.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
during
dude. That was COVID. I was only looking at like politics on Twitter, and so I was just like, "Oh my god, this is the funniest shit I've ever heard."
My favorite thing with Cuomo during COVID was everybody was like, "Are his nipples pierced?" Do you remember that shit? That shit was wild, bro. And you're looking at it, you're like, "Damn, they might actually be pierced."
My
dude.
god, dude, it was such a fucking clown show with like the liberal hero, fucking Cuomo. Everyone had like the Cuomo shit. There was like songs and
Brothers, they're like all
Brothers.
back and forth.
well, yeah,
and-
him and Chris, yeah.
yeah.
And now
Like,
look at
bro.
them. I don't know. I don't know. I want to see how New York plays out. It's interesting because we haven't really had a candidate like that before, so we might as well just see what happens.
It is interesting. It is very interesting.
Well, what's the difference between them? What's going on? What's the
So, Zorhan, is that his name?
Zoran-
right? Mamdi?
Zorhan Mamdani is a socialist.
Mamdani.
He is a
socialist,
socialist.
like a hardcore socialist. Yeah,
really?
Right.
yeah, like a.
How do you spell his
It's,
name?
well,
M A
MAGA would
M
say
Donnie.
He's a Muslim.
Yeah, he's an anti-Semitic Muslim Islamic extremist communist. Yeah, just
Yeah,
is the same
Man,
tired
that's
talking
not-
points.
that's not good for America.
It's not good for America. I mean, the comptroller of New York, who is very, very Jewish, endorsed him, but he's anti-Semitic.
My favorite thing is, dude, the governor of New York, though, her face is fucked up, dude.
Hochul?
She
You
just
don't like Hochul?
Yeah, she sucks.
She's your run-of-the-mill establishment dem, dude. How do you
Dude,
not like
she's-
that?
Sucks.
Her politics and Cuomo's are very not different at all.
Zorhan is so young though.
He's 33. Yeah. And look where we're
Yeah,
at.
what are you doing with your life?
What are we
motherfucker?
doing with our life?
Hey, I'm spreading
The-
the word about the
A
GOP.
33-year-old is probably going to be mayor of the most the most powerful United States city.
Easily, yep.
Is he running or does he actually have a chance to win?
So he won the nomination
right.
for Democrats, right?
So he's going to be going to the main election, which is against the incumbent Eric Adams and Silwa. I think that's the Republican candidate.
Yeah,
He's a clown.
no Republicans winning that. Yeah, like
And he's a socialist.
He is a socialist. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's
does
right up
he-
your alley, dude.
He would call himself a democratic
up my
socialist,
alley?
but he's socialist.
You're hardcore socialist, dude.
What is with these labels that you keep using that I
Wait,
don't
Scott,
know?
are you really a socialist? Are you like a card-carrying DSA member?
I'm you know what? I'm like a Bernie Sanders socialist.
That's a democratic socialist.
Yeah, that's a democratic
I'm
socialist.
against the oligarchies.
That's a democratic
olive-
social. Welcome to
The
socialism, dude.
oligarchies? What the hell is an oligarchy? Do you get free breadsticks and salad with that? What are you talking about?
Oligarchy. The oligarchy.
Oh, I think you're talking
Oh,
about
the
the Olive Garden.
oligarchy. What the hell?
Oh my god.
You called it the Olive Garden, dude. What are you talking about? You also thought the IAEA was part of the DOE.
No, hold on.
Anyway, Scott, I have a
DOE
book
is-
for you that you might really like and might start your political journey.
Did you read
Eddie.
the book?
What? Yeah, I've read this book.
If you show me the book, tell me that you read the book.
I have read the book.
All right.
So the Communist Manifesto?
It is the manifesto, yes.
What is the title of chapter 10 in that book? Without looking.
Chapter 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, chapter 10.
Without looking.
It's called the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's called
Trying to educate these people, you know what I mean? Get them off of the
I know. I want
The
you to know the
main-
manifesto doesn't have chapters.
I didn't think there were chapters.
There's
in the
no chapters
manifesto.
in the manifesto.
But you looked, didn't you?
Yeah, because
That
I was
means
just
you
like, there's
didn't
no
read the-
chapters, right? I had to make sure.
No, that
I didn't
means
want to
you
sound
didn't read the
stupid.
book.
I read the book like 10 years ago, bro. I read it at the same time as like my Ayn Rands.
How can you recommend a book that you didn't read?
You know, when you read as much as I do, sometimes you just don't remember. I can't remember every show I've watched.
I can.
I can't. I got too much
Name a
knowledge in
movie.
this brain, dude. It's like I have to like, defrag something out to put something in.
Oh, I have photographic memory.
That's what happens when you have too much knowledge.
That's not true at all, dude.
You know what I mean? Like DOE, baby. That's
Can I change the subject here?
Oh, gosh.
Go right
Oh
ahead.
god, I'm scared.
I was just gonna say I am now a certified scuba diver. And
There you go.
dude, it was fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like
You get
crazy.
do you get those little things, like the little power things that you can that takes you so you don't have to swim?
No.
No.
No? Oh.
All right, so
I'm not a-
so
I'm not a Navy
congratulations.
SEAL.
Congratulations to your
What?
certification.
Oh,
However,
I
there
thought you
are
were giving us
two
a hint,
there
like
are
a
two
wink.
ships that are off limits for you to scuba dive to. I just want you to know that. You need my permission before you
Nope.
visit any of them. There's
I'm
only
getting
two.
my-
There's only two.
I'm getting my
Reasonable.
advanced open water certification so I can go and deep dive to go to the wrecks.
Okay, that's fine.
Ooh.
There's only two wrecks you can't visit. At least not yet. Give it 2 years.
We should go looking for some buried treasure.
There's only two wrecks.
I'm
And the first wreck is
Well,
dangerous. Someone already died. So it's good. They rose too fast.
well.
I got the bends.
Yeah, that's it.
You gotta love the bends, dude.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Anyway, the
Yeah,
two
I'm
ships
going to
are
Mal- going to Malta because there might be a ship there. There's some other stuff.
Yeah.
as long as it's
But
not
dude,
the Britannic and as long as it's not Lusitania.
one might be the Lusitania. It's cool.
No.
Let's go look for some
Um,
old shipwreckage. Like
There's-
pirate ships. I want some.
There's plenty off the
Let's get
coast
some
of Carolina.
So you just went to Punta Cana, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't you get your scuba certification?
Yeah, you could have.
Dude, as soon as I stepped on the beach, I had like 10 hagglers trying to get my money.
Oh yeah, it's Punta Cana, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's what
nonstop.
happens. Yeah, that's the Caribbean. Yeah, the tourist country, bro.
I was like, dude, let's go to the beach. And my girl was like, nah, let's not. I'm like, come on, let's go. I mean, dude, as soon as one foot stepped into that sand, we just got swung.
Yeah.
You
They're like American.
When I was like, what, 14, 15, something like that.
Yeah, you guys were
And it
pretty
was
young.
the same back then, dude.
Yeah.
Same back then. Yeah. They got their little huts on the beach and they're like, come on in. Come on
Come
in.
on in. I'm like,
I make you good price.
good prices. I'm like, I mean, this one guy wanted to sell me Cuban cigars, but I was like, I don't know like if it's authentic or.
Authenticity.
Thank you.
You should have tried it.
Thank you. You know, sometimes I use other words if I can't say the original.
I know you do, dude.
Have you ever seen Trailer Park Boys?
No, I know
Just
that's your
like
show.
a little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
because he's like Ricky, because when he can't say a word, he just makes shit up too.
Dude,
So we went to Mallorca, right? And all inclusive resort and stuff. There's none of that bullshit. There's no like beach
Wait, what?
huts to tell you
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
bro.
what.
Mallorca.
What?
I'd be going to Ibiza.
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 Yes,
Ibiza.
correct.
I took
Yeah.
Gil in Ibiza.
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 Whatever, dude. You're not a native.
They're right, bro.
It's Ibiza. It's
Ibiza.
Barcelona, Ibiza, Glacius. That's how they say it, dude.
I'm not gonna sound like that.
Come on, man.
Well, then you're not going to sound authentic.
I'm not gonna sound like I have a lisp.
Come on,
They
man.
all have lists. That's why everybody thinks they're gay, dude.
Barcelona. I'd just be like, huh?
No, but so we went to Mallorca and it was great, dude. It was like all inclusive. I literally would wake up. I went diving. We got breakfast. I went diving. Came back. We got lunch. I went diving and I came back and I would just get fucking blasted. Go
Yeah.
to bed. Wake up. Go diving. Come back. Get some
Go to
lunch. Go diving.
Get blasted. Oh
Get
no!
blasted. It was a blast, dude. It was awesome.
That's a lot of fun, man.
That
doing
sounds like a
stuff.
lot of fun. I should just go and do that.
You guys want
You
to?
should.
I really
There's-
should. I have the opportunity.
We're going to Cancun.
Let me tell you-
Anyway,
Oh, I'm not going to Cancun.
I don't really have an interest in going to Mexico.
Yeah.
you guys are lame.
I'm not trying to die, dude.
You could go. You could die anywhere.
But not like, but nobody's
Right.
feeding me my fingernails, and I'm not tied up to a chair.
I hear
telling me you're afraid
Slovenia
of
is a very nice country to visit.
You're telling me you're afraid of some cartel people? What are you, gay? What? Come
Gotcha.
on, man.
Okay, Scott. Yeah, I know.
No, where I want to go diving next is Croatia. Croatia's amazing, dude.
Croatia would be cool. I mean, yeah. What are you just? I don't even remember what that sea is called anymore.
You know, when I was 15, I took on 30
The sea between
people.
Croatia and
The
Italy.
Medi-
It's not the Mediterranean. There's a
Mediterranean?
specific sea. I mean, it's part of the Mediterranean, but it's a specific sea that's in between Italy and Croatia. But there are a lot of shipwrecks in there, especially like World War I crafts.
yeah. But-
Yeah.
So here's the thing with Mallorca, dude. We went 4 people, all you can eat, all you can drink. It literally cost us $1,500 for like 5 days.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Each?
No, altogether.
All together?
I bet.
Wow.
I bet it did.
Not bad. That's not bad.
It
That's
was-
great.
Bro, it was cheap as fuck. And
Yeah.
I was like, these motherfuckers don't know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
So many pina coladas. It was.
You took it as a challenge, didn't you?
I did. Personal,
went-
a personal challenge.
Personal challenge. See how many pina coladas I can drink.
I mean,
I think
what else
one night
wouldn't you do?
I drank like 15 pina coladas or something.
That's it?
Well, I also had like 10 beers.
This is how
I think
Donald,
3 mojitos. It
this
was
is how
bad,
Donald
dude.
Trump bombed Iran.
Yes. It was great.
He's like looking at his phone as we're bombing Iran, going, "Ah."
Dude, it was so awesome though. It was so great.
See, that's why I'm going to take like a transatlantic cruise to Europe and just backpack around for a little bit.
You keep talking about it.
I know. I really want to do it. I want to take a cruise not only on the ship, but Queen Mary 2, The last
That's
ocean
it.
liner. The last ocean liner. And actually, the last company to own the Titanic.
Let me tell you something, Jay. There's
Think
two
it would be
types
really
of people
cool.
in this world. One
The dreamers and the
person can
doers?
talk about it. The other person, they actually do it.
I
What
know.
type of
I know.
person are you? What
I know.
type of bird?
But the thing is, like, I have a girlfriend. I have 2 cats.
All I hear is
What am I gonna do? Just leave them? I'm not gonna leave my
just
my
don't-
cats.
Up for the keys.
I got a wife and 2 kids.
And they're right
he
there
still
with
got
you. I'm
scuba
not taking them
certified.
with me.
He still got
And that's
scuba
Still
certified.
went. Why not?
And your
Why
excuse
not,
is,
man?
oh, the army is sending me to this place, and it's like a resort.
They didn't
What?
send me to Mallorca. That was me. What are you
I would have
talking
said.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said. Be like, oh, they're sending me to that hellhole Mallorca. She don't know what that means.
about?
So I'd be
If I could get away with that, I would, but I can't.
just take a week transatlantic cruise to Europe. It only docks in 2 places, and that's London and Hamburg. Not sure which one. Maybe London. Well, it's not London, it's Southampton. But go up through England to Scotland, Ireland. Maybe from there go to Lisbon, Barcelona,
That
and then
stuff-
go up through France and then
sounds so
Germany.
Boring.
How is that
Sounds
boring?
so- It just seems so boring.
How is that boring?
You're gonna visit castles or something?
Yeah, there's no
That's a
castles
lot.
here.
That's
So
a lot
fun.
of traveling, though. That's a lot of like moving.
That sounds cool to me.
Yeah. Don't you just want to sit and drink?
I can sit and drink there.
It's a lot of. It's not as quick as you think, though.
It's not
Like, that's
supposed
a
to be
2-week
quick.
That's like months,
Years.
not years, but months.
Just months. I also want to take the Orient Express. I think that would be really cool.
You can't say
Okay.
that anymore.
Why? Oh, shut the fuck up. Just to Vienna to Constantinople, and then I want to see the Hagia Sophia and maybe fix my hairline.
Let's go to like the Middle East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
which
dude.
which
I was ju-
nation?
I was just there. I'm good.
Let's just like
He's gonna go to like fucking Iraq. He's gonna go to Baghdad and be like, this is the Fertile Crescent. This is where the ancient kings were. I'm a descendant of.
exactly.
Yeah, right. Scott.
The ancient kings of fuck it, I can't remember any of them. Ashurbanipal, that's a good one.
They just immediately bow down to me.
I bet
Did you
they do.
know that Zahi Hawass didn't know what the King's List was because he's a fraud?
I mean,
Moving on. Anyway, so
dude,
I think he's losing it. He's like Joe Biden. Joe Biden used to be with it. He used to be.
Joe Biden was never with it.
He used to be. Yeah, he was. He used to demolish in his debates.
When he was like 20,
This was
It's
like
time for-
this was like when he was vice president.
dude. Zahi Hawass is a treasure hunter.
God.
That's all he was.
Here we
and he
go.
just rose to the top. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
shit.
Sorry to break it down to you.
Oh, I know, dude. Again, I know. I gotta listen to the fucking science fiction writers instead. They know what's up.
But you know what though? It's so crazy. Is like you didn't even listen to the podcast.
No, I went back to it.
Just like what's chapter 10 in that book?
Man, Chris threw a grenade and now he's just sitting back right now.
I'm just
What are you
saying.
talking about, dude? What are you talking about?
Threw a grenade. He hasn't said a word since.
Well, Chris is doing his research on the Federal Reserve, the DOE, and that's why he's so busy.
This is great. We need this
Don't be
clip.
hating.
Yeah, don't be hating, dude. Especially on the great Zahi Hawass. No reason to
I
hate
kinda
on
tell-
him.
I was just trying to tell you, hey, you guys should go to Mallorca. It was great. Jordan, are you coming out for Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
I don't
Are
know
you
if
really?
I can make it.
Yeah.
Why not?
He doesn't he doesn't get time off easily.
He just went to Punta Cana.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You think
did.
he's gonna get more?
I did. Unfortunately, I'm a slave.
As soon as I heard he went to Punta Cana, I was like, "Oh, that's it for the year."
You're done, dude.
Done. He cast that check.
But you know what though? I'm gonna free my people. I'm gonna free my people at the boat.
My God, this is like,
You have
yeah,
Bro,
he's gonna be the Moses of Grand Victoria, dude. It's gonna be amazing.
right now.
now.
You have 3 months to say, "Hey, I'm taking leave in 3 months."
Right.
How's that not enough time?
Bro. You have to at least have it into like 6 months to a year.
That's
That's
not
the
true.
problem.
You
That-
just made that up.
that
Oh, I swear to God.
dude, that sounds
No,
like
that-
against
that I'm
some
just-
kind of labor law.
When did you put in your Punta Cana trip?
Maybe like 8 months ago?
No, that's not true. You're a liar, dude.
No, maybe like I think it was in December.
8 days ago?
No. The thing
I'm not gonna
is,
lie, this is actually sounding like slavery.
yeah. Yeah, it is slavery.
That's why you
The
gotta be
thing is-
you gotta be like, let my people go.
Well, here's the thing too, is I'm curious. I'm curious too, because when I get back to work, I want to know if the boat sank or not. Because if the boat is still there while I'm not there, then I should be able to take more time off.
That's crazy.
You know what I
dude.
mean?
That's crazy how you thread the
Because
needle
guess-
there.
It's crazy
know?
to think that you thought that the casino was going to collapse without your ass.
I mean, hey, I do it all, baby. You know what I mean? Putting
And
out
it's still
fires
there,
day
and they're
night,
still
and
making
it's still-
money.
Yeah, so you should go to Germany. You have your passport. Do you need a visa?
What
I
if
do.
what if you go back and they said we had the best week ever? We're the most profitable we've ever been when you left.
I'll say I should take more time off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
That's what I'm down with it, you know?
You get months. You could come out here for a couple days. We'll
Correct.
go to Best and we'll get drunk.
Drunk
and
as
then
fuck.
You fly back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good
How
time.
long is that flight though? How long is that flight?
It's like 6 hours, 8 hours.
It's like
It's
8 hours.
11.
Yeah.
It's like 10 hours, isn't it?
No, it's like
Not
8
from
at the
Chicago.
most.
I need if we do fly, I need a bed in my
Then
See,
fly first
the bu-
class. You're gonna fly
business
probably
class, bro.
Lufthansa, right? Get business class.
Yeah,
okay.
Lufthansa business class is a lay down flat thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way to fly. I'm done with sitting. I'm done with
It is.
sitting next to
It-
people that
Speaking of
buy
flying,
pizza.
dude, I'm done with United. Like, fuck United. Seriously. Like, worst fucking airline, bro. They just fucking nickel and dime you at every goddamn moment. The service ain't that great. I don't want your cheap ass peanuts. Fuck your cheap ass peanuts. Fuck your burnt pot of coffee. Don't want it. And
Dude, on the way
they're only in the one fucking airport that is hard to access from the city. Because every road that leads to O'Hare is under construction.
every road.
Every
But-
single
but-
fucking
but-
road.
On the
Let me tell
on
you
the way
this.
on the way to Punta Cana, it was me and Jamie. Jamie's like 90 pounds, but I was in the middle next to a person that weighed like
I've been there.
I was like,
That
dude,
was my flight to California.
I was literally shocked because one, I had no armrest. I was just uncomfortable. I was like this the whole time.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, the
yeah.
lady was very nice, but I was like,
Dude.
man.
Dude, on my like 4-hour flight to California, I was in between this like 300-pound guy, and he was playing a game and he was into it, so he's moving,
You
and
gotta-
on the other side of me is like some 14-year-old girl, so like, I'm not trying to fucking like lean into that either, so I'm like stuck like this the whole time for fucking 4 hours.
and I guarantee you're light on 300 pounds because like
More
most
like, and
people
United
nowadays are,
charges
like,
for
500.
carry-ons now. Did you know that?
Do what?
United charges for carry-ons now, unless it's a smaller than. It has to be like a personal item, like a purse or a laptop. But if you have like a carry-on, it's $40.
Yeah. I just think
Southwest,
we
dude.
should just,
Southwest, way to
get
go.
rich. We should just get rich. So
How do
don't
we
have to
get
cry.
rich?
Dude,
Do you think we should
I
start
told you.
grifting?
100%.
100%, he says.
100%.
100%. The 48 laws of
Why don't we
power.
let's just save the grifting for the next episode. And I want to know Scott's grifting ideas.
I told you.
Because I'm locked in, baby.
27.
I'm locked in.
27. 48 laws of power. Word for word, these guys. He tells you how to do it.
Yeah, the 27th is basically,
Cult?
hey, if you make a cult, people will just give you money.
He used this one example of this guy. He was like, I had the dude. This guy, he said he had the Philosopher's Stone, right? People would give him gold, and he said, in return, I will give you even more gold.
That's insane.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, it sounds like a Ponzi
Exactly.
scheme. All right, let's
But the
okay. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for listening to Back Society. This is Jay signing off.
You know, this is the one and only S. You know,
Grift coming soon.
coming
Stay tuned for the next grift.
The grift. And this is the grift. Later.
Hey.